Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. It's car booty time and I have some video again from the market. So, quick story, a subscriber of mine actually came over. He said, hey, I'm coming to the Canary Islands on holiday. I'd love to go to the flea market. Can we meet up? And we did. So, Peter came all the way, would you believe, from Vancouver in Canada? Yeah, really? And I took him down to the markets, I promised. So one of the computers on the video today is from Sunday. There wasn't much around to buy, but I do have another retro machine. I bought a few a couple of weeks ago and I had just too many to put on one video. So we have a few here we can still have a look at. So we will have a retro machine. But first of all, we'll have a look at this one. Okay, so a quick look around the market with myself and Peter, and then we'll have a look at some computers. See you soon. Yes, we looked at these before, but they're not retro, but they're not USB 3, so they're not new either. They're kind of like an in-between. What does Peter think? Old computers. But see with these, there's no USB 3 on them, so they're like quite old, but they're not retro machines either. So.
No, and you don't have anything like HDMI on them either, so you just got this.
Yeah, DVI. Yeah. So not for me those.
A couple laptops over there too.
Yeah, some laptops and oh look, S3 Verge. This is from about 1998 or something. Old graphics card, AGP. This one's a Rage Pro Turbo AGP.
A Rage controller?
Rage Pro, it's called. It's a graphics card.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
This says Rage Pro Turbo, and this one is a S3 Verge. If there were a couple of euros each or something, I'll take one.
Get a close up of these, please. Some of your gold's wearing off there too.
No, what it is, some of the pins are not actually used.
Or they're dirty.
No, if you look at them, they're just not there. There's the gaps. So sometimes you'll find that, look, see here, there's no. I think that's not a fault.
I can see that. I don't know. It seems like they're using their cleaner, but.
Do you know? I think they're just like gaps, because otherwise you would see a track which went to here.
Well, yeah.
And there is no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Ask him in a moment. See what he. Yeah, this is. So again, this doesn't have HDMI. There's no USB.
DVI there though.
Oh, is that HDMI?
No, DVI, the one with a slow.
Oh, I'm not sure what that.
Yeah,
that's a display. It's not a display port.
It's an HP display port. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that should be fairly. But there's no USB.
But you need the adapter, and that doesn't have any audio built into it. So.
And what is the? This is a Windows 7 machine.
Okay, well.
It's going to be probably like early. Maybe an i3 or something for second gen, something like that. What's that? That was a webcam.
Yeah, that's for Det there.
That
robot. That was a robot one.
Yeah, it's on camera. Want to Esther? Is it Trey? Oh. Yeah, I have 3. I have a 5. Oh yeah, it says the screen doesn't work on this one. Those work, but the screen doesn't work on this one. Yeah, this is a Cinco, €5.
What are they?
No, those are vintage, so those graphics cards will be from the late 1990s, and there was a collector's market for these things. So. You'd be surprised. It's like old games consoles, old tech, Sony Walkmans, and all these things.
Yeah, the game consoles definitely. And I own a couple of Commodores.
Okay.
Well, 64s. It kind of goes back to my childhood.
But I think that's the whole collector's market.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, So basically, like a Commodore Amiga.
Yeah.
Now, especially the Amiga 1200s, maybe €500. If you go on eBay and you look, So these graphics cards, they may be worth 10 each. They could be worth 20 or 30, they vary from one brand and one model. But for €5 for 2, sorry, €3 for 2, it was
So are you putting them up on eBay? And
Yeah.
They are selling?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, I've got quite a few, a lot of vintage computer stuff as well, but it depends on, maybe my market is much bigger because
Yeah, your market is
American,
bigger.
So maybe it's what I would call water.
No, I don't think so, because you also have more collectors who can buy from there easier.
Yes.
But what you should do is on eBay, so you can go in and you'll put something like Commodore 64, and you'll say, oh, 200, 300, but that's what people are asking. What you should do is, when you list them, if you look to the right hand side of the page at the top, it said advanced. Click on advanced, and now it gives you an option to go for sold. Click on sold.
Oh, right. No, I have done that.
You've done that, yeah. So now you can see what they're selling for. Not only what they're selling for, but how often they're selling. And you can look to see how many are on the market for sale.
Right.
And that gives you a good idea, what price can I sell at? Can I give the price? If you give the price that people are paying, you're going to sell. And you can also see if it's a very common item or if it will take you 3 months, you know?
See, I'm already like almost up to 900,000 buys already.
Really?
Yeah, but selling wise, not so much. Now, part of the problem is out of Canada is shipping.
Yeah.
Americans don't want to, and that, because even on eBay, the market's still in the U.S., to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so the main thing is that because of shipping, the Americans worry about customs duties and taxes, which I don't know if they particularly pay a lot. You might just have to pay your state tax.
Yeah.
That would be the only, but also it causes a delay in shipping. And sometimes Americans want it right now. And
I think that's true of new products, but when we're talking about collectibles, especially hard to find things, that is not generally the case. We have the problem of the expensive shipping from here, but because I'm getting stuff at the sale at a very cheap price, and I know it's worth 100, but I know the shipping's going to cost somebody 20.
True.
But I'll happily sell it for 70 because I'm getting a good price, because I'm getting it very cheap, and they're getting a good deal even with the shipping.
Right.
And that's the way I would.
And are you trying to keep it as free shipping and include your shipping cost in?
Yeah, if I can,
It always looks better that
or
way.
certainly offset the shipping price.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the way, yeah. So yeah, if you've got old stuff, have a look to see what it's worth. You could have a fortune in the attic or garage.
You might be right. I still have some tube monitors too. What do I do?
Tube monitors?
Yeah.
Right, okay, they fetch good money.
They what?
Fetch good money. Somebody here last week had a Commodore 64. When we go back round, let's see if it's still there.
No, I haven't seen it.
You don't see it. Commodore 64 with the tape drive, with the cassette drive, with a thing full of the 5 1/4 inch floppies. There was tapes, there was the user manuals, and there was the Philips tube monitor. Oh, and look what we found here. We found an empty box. We found an empty box. Oh well, never mind.
You need a robot vacuum cleaner?
We don't need one.
No, clean the office.
Detlef gave us one of those. You see videos of cats on YouTube and on Facebook riding on top of them.
Oh, that's true.
Our cat came in at night, managed to switch it on, and he was traumatized.
Oh my!
He was shaking. He wouldn't come in the house. No, no. Celo carcasa. Celo carcasa is no.
Sí, hasta luego, pero para que tú la llenes.
No,
casa
sí, ya no.
con otra.
No,
No,
no, put me no gusto.
no, vale.
Ya, gracias.
Yo vendo la carcasa para que.
Vale.
Eurillo, 10.
Sí.
Tú le metes todo. De otro a este que esté bien.
Okay, bye.
Oh, you got a computer or something over there.
Yeah. This is a
I'll hold that for you.
Intel i5 quality, German quality. Oh, it's a Medion computer. The thing with these is they tend to be like a bit specialised. I mean, if it uses something like a gigabyte or an Asus motherboard, maybe. What I'd have to do here is, if I can find a screwdriver, because I didn't bring one. Oh, look at that.
Don't know if it would really.
Yeah.
You could take this off, maybe do it by hand.
Joe Miró.
Este viene completo, completo este.
Joe Miró.
Sí, mira.
Okay.
La memoria de 16 GB.
Okay.
manually turn it maybe, or that comes off there. I don't know if that bit.
If we can just loosen it, it's going. It's going enough to actually get inside it.
Here I can probably do it.
Yeah. And this one, the same. Like we should be able to do them.
It's still tight. Oh,
This one's loose. That one tight?
seems like it.
No, you're slipping fingers.
Americano.
Yeah, that you've got. Okay. What is this thing?
Oh, there we go. Side panel.
Horrible
audio.
So,
Okay, thank you.
this has a M2 drive or something similar.
La memoria viene de 6 giga, eh?
Yeah.
El disco duro de 1 tera.
Well, this is like a Medion motherboard or something. It's not really.
It's more newer style than some of the ones you've been doing.
It is, yeah. This is possibly a useful sort of machine, but I don't know what generation this is.
Hey,
What's the price?
¿cuánto vale este, wey? Chocolate.
It's worth about €30, but it's not worth a lot to me. What size is that drive down there?
¿Y esto? Ajá.
I can't read it.
¿Cuánto?
There's a little.
Well, it says on the front i5.
Sorry?
It says on the front
i5, but this could be anything from like a second or third generation upwards, and I can't say. This has got a little.
Saddam.
Oh, there's an onboard M2.
I can see it's M2 on board.
If we can get this for a reasonable price, let's get it.
Yeah. I ask him. Mira, ¿cuánto está?
Este es para ti, buen precio, 50 euros para ti.
50.
50. Viene completa, eh?
See,
Completa también.
he wants 50 for it.
Is it going to include that power supply?
Inclusive, Esther?
¿Quieres este también?
Yeah,
Hey.
this as well.
Other way around.
¿Quieres este también?
See.
Vale, dame 50, llévatelo.
Yeah, he says 50 including that. Shall I take it? It's quite a nice machine, that, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 40 and we're done.
Come here. Okay. Yeah.
Make sure you got tons of screws.
Okay. 40?
Güey, 50 también con este, te lo dejado 50 con
Okay,
este.
40. No inclusive.
Solo son.
So Esther, 40?
Y 5.
Can you do 5?
Y 5.
Vale. 40 y 5.
Ahí coge eso también, ¿vale? Regalo, ¿vale?
Oh, gracias. He says I can have it for 45 and this is a gift. Yeah, these are probably illegal in England. And yet we find them here on the car boots out, I think, isn't it?
Alright.
That's a nasty job.
Crocodile Dundee, right?
Yeah.
A knife. This is a knife.
Call that a knife? This is a knife. Yeah, that one. That's my blade, man. Call that a blade. And if that don't work,
Crap.
yeah. I think it's a cap gun, actually. So I do have some retro computers, and we'll look at one on this video for sure. But this first one is not really retro. I bought this because I thought it might actually be useful. I'm now not totally sure I made the right decision there, but I'll show you. So this is the machine. It says Core i5 on the front of it. It has USB 3, so it's not so old as you might imagine. And it came with a few other things. So I have 2 graphics cards, not related to this machine, just the same guy. So I have 2 graphics cards there, okay, AGP. One is a S3 Verge, okay, and the other one is a Rage Pro Turbo, okay. I don't know if any of this stuff works, of course. And I also have an ATX power supply, Unica, probably more in Spanish. 600 watt power supply, nice and clean and tidy. Again, I don't know if it actually works or not. So I had to haggle a bit with this guy, and I got all the stuff together for €45. So this owes me more than I pay for the retro machines, which are invariably 20, maybe a bit cheaper. Okay, so this is the machine. Little fold down flaps. The case is in quite good nick. It's got a few stickers on the side, but it's pretty good. I had a quick look inside this, so I basically do know what's inside this before I bought it. So let's have a look together. The power supply was a bit of a gift, by the way, so I said, hey, is this included? Because it was sitting next to it or on top of it. And he gave me a price, I think it was 50 with it included. I said, okay, fair enough, I'll just take this then for 40. And we haggled a bit, so in the end he said 45. I said okay, and he says you can have that power supply as well as a gift. Yeah. So that's how I got that one. The machine itself, so this is some sort of, like, I won't say custom motherboard, but it's like an OEM motherboard. That's probably the best description of it. Okay, I can see 2 strips of RAM, which I think is DDR4 on this one. I could be wrong, I'm going to find out in a minute. And there's an M2 drive of some sort down there. I couldn't see very clearly on the day. I didn't have any magnifying glass, and it was extremely sunny, of course. Yeah. So, you saw me haggling for this on the video already, so you know exactly what I did pay for it. It turns out it's only a 128 gig drive. It's not very big. I knew there was a graphics card in. Again, I couldn't see it very well. There's a sticker down there, and I think actually this is a GTX 750 or something like that. So it turns out this is probably older than I expected it to be, and that would suggest it's probably DDR3 and not DDR4. Okay, the RAM, let's have a look. So yeah, this is 8 gigabytes. There's 2 8 gig strips in here. Okay. And it says PC4. Okay, so it is DDR4. There's a DDR3 for comparison, so you can clearly see the notches in different places. This is DDR4. I have 2 strips of this in here. Yeah, another 8 gigabytes. So 16 gig of DDR4. That's quite nice. That makes me wonder what just CPU is in here. I'm thinking DDR4 probably came around on, was it the 6th gen? I've had 3rd and 4th gen whatevers, and I think they were all DDR3. Memory doesn't totally serve me well on that one. It has a hard drive, and I think this is a 1 terabyte drive. So that's a complete machine, basically. I'm very interested to see if this just works. I don't know. I did buy this basically because I thought this is useful for me. So rather than stripping it down right now, let's just see. We'll put the light bulb on so we can make sure the power supply doesn't go bang. And let's see if it actually works. I will just check for short circuits on the 12 volts first though. It's a little bit difficult to get down there, but yeah, there's no short there, that's for sure. Okay. I have the power plugged in, it's not just switched on yet. I have the light bulb in series. Now, if this has active PFC, the light bulb might flash or flicker. That's quite normal for those sort of power supplies. This, I think, is a 350 watt supply, so it may not have that actually. Let's see. I'll just put the camera on the light bulb for you. Okay, there it is. Let's switch on. Ah, nothing happened, but let's turn the PC on. Okay, it's not going to blow up. So, we'll take that out of the circuit. Let's try. Does it start? Yes, it does start. It's making noises like it's going to boot up. I'll just switch this off. I'm going to disconnect the hard drive so I see that I have a picture, so I'm not repeatedly powering on and off, but I'm guessing the OS is probably on that little M2 down there. I can connect this to my capture card. Let's see if I get a picture. Well, it started. Something vibrates. But I don't... Oh! I was just saying, and it is going to boot up. Okay. Oh, so this has Windows 10 by the looks of it. Do some sort of update, leave it to it. Don't switch off the equipment. Okay. I'll get a mouse. Okay, and we have, well, what looks like a nice picture of somewhere in the Canary Islands, actually. Angelina. There is a password on it, so okay, I don't have it, but the machine is working. Interesting. Okay guys, I've connected my test drive. This is my 60 gigabyte Corsair drive with Windows 10 on. Obviously the M2 is still in there. I've connected the, I think, as a 1 terabyte drive as well. I went into the BIOS and I set this to be the primary boot device, and it was very well behaved, this computer. They did it for me, so I'm now in Windows 10 on my Windows copy, so we can have a little look around now and see what's on this machine. We can get the specification easily. So that's my drive, almost full, but it's a great little test drive. This is the 1 terabyte. It is a 1 terabyte. Doesn't seem to have anything in there really. In fact, it basically says it's pretty much empty. That thing is like 3 gigabytes used. This will be the Windows drive. Yeah, we can see it there now. Okay, so we can see the machine's working. Okay, let's just see what we have on this machine now. So it's a i5-6400, that's what I thought, probably 6th generation, 16 gig of DDR4. Yeah, I mean the M2 drive's a little bit small, but with a 1 terabyte drive, I think actually for €45 I probably got a reasonably good machine here. Actually, it could be useful. Yeah, it wouldn't be difficult to find a faster, something like an i7 if I wanted to, I would think. That was 6th gen. Yeah, but it's pretty good. Okay, what do you guys think? Worth it or not worth it? Yeah, €45. While we're here, let's just have a quick look at this power supply that came with that other computer as well. The light bulb's in series again. Let's see what it does. Wait, it ain't going to go bang again. In fact, it's going to power up. I can see that. So, switch it to mains. The analyzer says it's good. Okay. So it looks like we have a good power supply as well. Could be handy, 600 watt, okay. Let's have a look at another one. So this is a retro machine. It's an AGP machine, the side's off, so I actually have a good idea basically what is inside this one. We should be able to use that to test these as well, okay. If it's working, that is. So, 4 USBs, parallel port, serial. This is quite typical of a Pentium 4 machine. Socket 478, which is exactly what it is. Okay, and this is an Asus motherboard, so P4S800, another 800 meg frontside buzz one. Little graphics card in here, which I don't think is anything very exciting. Okay, there's no RAM fitted on this one. The capacitors look good from here. There's no hard drive in this one. So I'm going to take this motherboard out from here. Let's see if this works or if we can get it to work. Here's the motherboard. Yes, the capacitors do all look okay. I can see them quite clearly now. P4S800, as we could see before. Wi-Fi, this says it's some sort of expansion slot. It's strange how you seem to find weird expansions on old motherboards that you never really saw anything that would go in there. Doesn't seem to happen anymore, that, not as I've noticed particularly anyway. So that's the board. This is the graphics card. We have another GeForce MX 4080 or something. We'll go with a slightly different one. MX 4000, okay, GeForce MX 4000, 64 meg. Nothing particularly amazing that, I don't think. Right, so I'm going to just check for the shorts on here, then we'll connect a known good power supply, we'll put the analyzer card in. No RAM at the moment. Let's see if we get an error code like C0 or C1 out of this. That would be rather promising if we do. Okay, so ohms range. Let's have a look. That's short. One side is ground anyway, so yeah, other side's climbing up nicely. So there's no shorts on there. I don't see any reason why we can't just test this. So what does it do? Well, the green light comes on. Yeah, that's a good sign. Interesting. So it starts, but no display on here. I get a bleeping noise, which is probably no RAM. That might just be bad connections in the PCI slot, maybe. Yeah, look, you see, I have a code now, C0, C1, RAM error. Okay, let's get some RAM. Doesn't like that much. Okay. I'll probably just clean these RAM slots. I'll try it again first, but most likely they just need a clean. Yeah, look, you see, it's got it now. Just insert a couple of times. Right, so it's asking now for a graphics card. Let's have a look to see if it will give us a picture. And this is with the graphics card that came with it. There's a blue light on the monitor. Oh, we have a picture. Just give it one moment. There we go, we're in the BIOS. So, yeah, that one's working. I'll just try these other graphics cards while I'm here. Yeah, and I can't actually because the key is in the wrong position and the slot. Okay. So these are the older type. Work on a different voltage. They're not universal ones, so they won't actually go in here. These are quite old cards. So what I'll do is I'll just keep these two on one side. I'm sure in the next week or two we have some card booty. I'll find a motherboard that does support these and can try them then. Okay. But the motherboard's working. I wonder what processor we have on this one. Well, it thinks it's a 3.2 gig. That's about the second fastest one you can get. Let's have a quick look at the CPU. If it was a 3.4, we would seriously be in the money with this. But we'll have a look. And it is the 3.2 gig. If I remember correctly, these are worth about £20 and the 3.4 maybe 120. Let's see if we at least have our 20 euros worth of hardware here. Let's look for the motherboard first, P4S 800. Okay. What's a P4P? Of course, mine has to be a bit different from the other ones. There's one there for sale at 68. As usual, let's go into the advanced listings and have a look to see if any have sold and for how much. Sold items. Oh, well, that's the MX. So that's the slightly smaller version with less PCI slots. There's another one. You see the difference here? So this one fetched 71 And that's a 3.2 gig processor with it. That fetched 21 without a processor, but I'm really surprised the processor made so much difference. That's a different one, P4U 48. I think it's probably fair to say it's worth about £50. Would you all agree with me? 50? Maybe more? How about this processor? So this is a P4 3.2 gigahertz, socket 478. Okay. Yeah, what I thought, 23, 32. These are getting up a little bit in price, but let's say £20. So we have £20 worth of processor, and we have maybe £50 worth of motherboards. That's 70. Just as a comparison, the 3.4 gig, and I only ever found one, and I got about 100 for it. Those are the 3 gigs. I don't even see any 3.4 sold. They are scarce, I'll tell you guys. Oh, one sold there, 71. Yeah, okay. That's the same as the one I sold at the 1 meg cash. I got about 100 for the one I had. Now the graphics card. MX 4000, 64 meg. Yeah, like £10. I didn't expect that to be worth much. So we have 50, 60, about £80. Okay, that's pretty good for €20 invested. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you think that first machine was worth it for 45. Yeah, I didn't look up the cost of parts, but it was meant to be a useful machine. Do you think it's useful? Is a machine of that vintage useful these days? That's another good question. So get into the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you, and I also look forward to seeing you all again soon on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.